piece sounds amazing. I've noticed that this time you're using your feet. And as a pianist, I only get 2 or 3 pedals, but you've got so many. So can you tell me about how that works?
Yes. Well, these things down here that you may see are called pedals. And as you say, you play them with your feet. So actually the concept of these pedals is really rather simple. I did say earlier that this organ has 2 keyboards. That's not entirely true. It actually has 3 keyboards, the swell, the grate, and the pedals.
So last time we talked about how the different keyboards have different roles. So what role do the pedals play?
Well, the pedals actually have a multitude of purposes, but for the sake of this video, I will demonstrate some of the low sounds, because it's often the case that your hands are playing the higher pitched stops that we spoke about in a previous video, the 8-foot, the 4-foot, the 2-foot, but on the pedal, you'll often play with a stop, which is a 16-foot. And the 16-foot is a very deep and a beautiful sound. And it sounds a little bit like this. But there's also some less beautiful sounds and something a bit more forthright and a bit more vulgar, perhaps. A reed like this. But the pedals also play a very important role in underpinning what we might play with our hands. It provides the low foundation, the low bass, a little bit like this.
That looks really difficult. I mean, I play the piano, but surely using the feet as well requires like a whole other level of skill.
I'm not going to lie, it is hard, okay? But like with anything, with practice, doesn't make perfection, but it certainly helps. So a lot of practice, and I would say the hardest thing to crack is the coordination. It's like driving a car or learning to swim. Once you've learned how to do it, it actually just happens naturally. It's the same with your pedals. Once you've been playing, for a few years, it just clicks. It just feels natural. I've actually got this piece by Pachelbel, which I think is quite accessible, simply because it only has 4 notes in the pedal part, which repeat over and over. And they sound a little bit like this. Easy by itself, but when you put the hands to it, it becomes a little bit harder. But I don't think it's too hard for you. Do you want to have a go?
Okay.
I think you should have a go. I'll help you through it.
Thank you.
So how about we start with the feet first. So 4 notes. I think you should play the first 2 notes with your right foot.
Okay.
Okay. And the final 2 notes with your left foot.
Okay.
Try that.
Oh, that's not too hard. I feel like with a bit of practice, I could probably get the hang of that.
Yeah, I think so too, actually. Do you want to have a go with putting the hands to it?
Okay.
Okay, so play down on the grate.
Yep.
On that sound. That will sound lovely.
Whoa.
Aha! Well, so what happened there? You played 2 notes with your feet.
Yes.
And you played 2 notes with your feet simply because you're not wearing the right shoes.
Aha, okay.
So we actually have to wear proper organ shoes
Right.
when we play the organ. They're very thin and flexible.
Not like these chunky ones.
Not like these ones, no. They're as nice as they are. But we have to wear narrow shoes so they fit in between the pedals. See, it's not that hard.
No, I could get the hang of this.
Yeah. And of course, another thing that you can do is simply play, I don't know, perhaps the final note of a hymn tune with the pedal, you know, as a starter. So, why don't you, we're in G major, obviously, why don't you find the notes with your left foot? That's it. Keep it there. And then imagine you've got a church lustily singing, "Love diviner loves excelling." And the final note just needs a little bit of something about it.
Bit of umph.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, it's so cool to be able to play with the pedals as well. For a beginner, do you have any advice on how to get better at playing with the pedals?
Patience is one, because it takes a very long time to learn.
Yeah.
In all honesty, it's practice, and more practice, I think. Like I said earlier, it's about building up the coordination.
Of course.
So the top tip is to do things separately. Pedals first, hands next, left hand pedal, right hand pedal, split it up like that.
Yeah.
But it takes a long time, but it's worth it in the end.
So I'd love to know, what's the most difficult thing that you can play with your feet?
It depends which day of the week it is. Probably a piece of Bach, actually, one of the prelude and fugues in D major. Shall I have a go?
Yeah.
All right. Let me find it. It's notorious in the organ world, this piece, because there are lots and lots of pedal notes to play.